So you see where in blue it says a list method? The reason it says a list method is because it turns out making a list is a whole lot easier than our normal way. How do I normally tackle any problem lately? 5 gets the point. I normally would do like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Normally we make that tree diagram. But that's not a good enough diagram. Because, bless it, that's only for 2 people. Alice Bob, Alice Charlie, Alice Doug. If we really wanted a tree diagram with all the options, we would have to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we'd have to do that for each branch. My gosh, that would be a pain in the rear. So when number 2 says, which of your lists is an organized way, I don't blame you if you didn't put anything, because I kind of told you, hey, this is an organized way. For the love, don't do this. I think Irvin was the only one in the room who wanted to start off tree diagram. I'm not crazy. I can't remember. I really wanted to print it on him, though. He normally liked it. Was you two? Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like all the branches would get in my way. Because I still got to make a list of branches for B, E, F, and G. And then I got to go to D and do the same thing. I feel like it'd be a royal pain. I can see it, but I wouldn't do it. Okay, number 3, basically you already handled it because Miss Confidence, you got your back sometimes. And number 3 says, did you make an organized list? Well, yeah, I did. And list all the possibilities, already did that. How many juries did you find? 35.
Miss Thompson?
Yes, ma'am.
I need Lauren Phillips to check out.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
Bye, Lauren. You really could just say C number 1 because you already answered number 3 when you handled number 1. Are there any questions about 1, 2, and 3? Okay, let's go to 4. Okay, so let me get my pens. Ugh. So we had a jury. How many people are on the jury? 3. There's Alice, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7 people available. So I've got 7 pens. And it says that we're going to select, at first it said we were going to select 3. And how many do we have left over when we select 3 people? 4. That makes sense. Well, number 4 changes. If you have an old textbook like where Forrest does, you had to change words. And for that, I apologize. So he needs to change his words. It should say 4 and 7. Okay, but if I select 4 people from my jury, how many people do I have left over? 3. Isn't that weird? So I could say I'm selecting these 3, and those 4 are left over. Or I'm selecting these 4, and these 3 are left over. But either way, I'm still holding the same set of pens in each hand. I got 4 in one hand, 3 in the other. So what's really strange is that your answer on number 4 matches your previous answers. It still ends up being 35. And the reason is, and the reason you don't have to make another list, is because before you had a list like A, B, C, etc., etc., and A, B, C meant picking these. These are on my jury. That's what it meant on number 1. They are on the jury. But on number 4, if I see a list of A, B, C, maybe that means they're not on the jury. So if I list A, B, C, I'm meaning those people aren't on my jury. I'm really picking D, E, F, and G. I just hated for Caitlin to have to make a whole list of 4, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, F, A, B, C, G. Like, that would get really annoying. So instead, we're going to use our original list. And instead of listing those are the people we're picking, like I am picking yellow, blue, and pink. Now it's those are the people I'm not picking. I'm for sure not picking yellow, blue, and pink. So I am selecting my purple, my orange, my green, and my gray. Okay, so then we get to number 5, which where most people got a little mad. That's okay. We've already dealt with the 3 and the 4 members. They should both be 35s. Can someone tell me the answer for the number 1?
Yeah. It is 7.
It is 7. You can have a point for that. Now the reason it's 7 is because it says Number of people in jury 1. So I've got these 7 options. Let's say this first time I pick Gray. He's in my jury. Now Gray's not. I pick Pink. She's in my jury. Now she's not. I pick Yellow. She's in my jury. Now she's not. And I keep on going. Clearly, I'm going to eventually have held each of the 7 pins. That's why there's 7 options. Okay. Forest should not have this extra thing that has an 8. What if I need to select, there? It says on the very last bottom of the table that there are a 7-member jury, and I have 7 pins. How many ways can I select those 7 pins? 1. I need all of them, so there's only one way I can select them all. So that's 1. And then what's cool is, that 6 and 1 add to 7. So in the same way it was, like, I'm selecting Gray, which means I'm not selecting those guys, it could be the opposite. I'm going to select everybody but Gray. Gray's the one left out. And we still end up having 7 options. Because maybe I leave Gray out this time. I leave Pink out this time. I leave Blue out this time. Each time that we leave out one color, and there are 7 colors total, it still ends up being a 7. So again, what's really cool is that 1 plus 6 is 7. And they had the same numbers in the table. And same way, 3 and 4 added up to 7. They had the same numbers in the table. So unsurprisingly, whatever we get for 2 is going to be the answer for 5 because 2 plus 5 adds to 7. So like if I select pink and green, that means I'm not selecting those people. Or maybe I'm selecting those people and not selecting pink and green. They're really the same concept. So what you were supposed to do to figure out the last ones were to make a list of the 2s. Like I could select Alice and Bob, Alice and Charlie, Alice and Doug, Alice and Erica, Alice and Fred, Alice and George, and if you kept on making the list, you ended up getting how many for the 2 and the 6? 5 gets the point. 21 for both. No, I guess I was really deep. Would I ask you to do something like that on the next test? No. Would I ask you to do something like number 4? Yes. Okay, number 6 is a breed of its own, because on number 6, life changed. Before, we were trying not to count duplicates. So, like, Alice, Bob, Charlie. It's like those darn ice cream scoops all over again, coming back to freaking haunt you again. Alice, Bob, Charlie. Bob, Alice, Charlie. Charlie, Alice, Bob. Those were the same thing when we were selecting them for a jury. Mallory's not important because her name was selected first. As long as she's on the jury, she's equally an important juror. Except in number 6, because apparently there are important seats in the jury. So Alice had first seat. So that makes her important. So the order matters. So in number 6, since the order matters, it ends up being a lot easier of a problem. Yes, ma'am. I do. My top drawer. Dear Grant. Answer the question. It is, because there are 8 people. So the first seat had 8. So, yes, yes, and it ended up being, what's 8, 7, 6? Oh, it was supposed to be 7 jurors. 7, 6, 5. Again, bless Forrest's heart, he has an old book. In the middle thing, under my, yes, that one. The one your hands on, yes, that one. See, Black Shelby. Literally, yes, because you're already using the formulas, because you're a genius. I'm not, nope, still my joy quite yet. A little longer.
Wait, where?
There's a, in that black shirt, in Bayou. See that Sharpie behind the pink highlighter? Yes, she is being blind. Do you see the black Sharpie behind that? Right? Yep. Do you see it says Sharpie?
I said sharpener.
Sharpener. Oh yeah, I did. I thought she said Sharpie. Did y'all know how she said Sharpie?
Yeah, she said sharpener.
So why did y'all say she have her drawing?
Wow.
Go for it. Are there any questions about 1 through 6? Was she sharpened? Okay, flip 7. Go ahead. Okay, number 7 is actually the easiest question of the day. So let's pretend the order matters. And so Alice in the first seat actually makes a difference from Alice in the second seat. So maybe Alice, Bob, Charlie is different from Alice, Charlie, Bob. And then maybe what if Bob was in the front seat? So Bob, Alice, Charlie, or Bob, Charlie, Alice. Yes, you can have a point table too. Or maybe it's Charlie, Alice, Bob, or Charlie, Bob, Alice. So there were 6 different ways we could deal with those people. And then number 7 says, what if we changed the jurors? What if it wasn't Alice, Bob, Charlie? What if we did D and F? Would it change? No, it wouldn't. It would still be 6. And if you wanted to explain, heck, show it again with D, E, F. D, E, F, C, F, E, F, E, D, D, E, F, E, D, E, F, D, E, D, F. It's still 6. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which 3 letters you choose, it's still going to be 6. Are there any questions about 7 and 8? 9 is where I need your help and you can get some points. It says return question 3. What was the answer on question 3? Tell me the number. Thank you, Irvin. Irvin gets a point. So the number on question 3 was 35.
Yeah, you multiply it by 6.
Okay, what was the answer on number 6?
Sorry.
What was the number? What's 210 divided by 6?
35.
Okay, 2 gets 2 points, 4 get a point. So it's 35. So, why did that happen? And this is where we're like, I don't know why that happened, I just know it did. And that's fine for now. Are there any questions about number 9? Let's go to 10. Now, what I love about you, that you did way better than 4th, 5th period, is that at least you looked at the hints, and if you didn't know what to do, you at least wrote down what the hint said. That's better than showing nothing, because I had some super blank people in 5th period trying to get on my last nerve. No. People. 10, if we have N people available, then there are N people who can sit in that seat. So number 10 should be N. We've already put N in the first seat. In the second seat, it's going to be N minus 1. If you hate it when a math teacher starts using variables, because I know that got on my nerves, that's why eventually me and math had to part ways, because they started putting too many letters with math. Like, I just wanted numbers. That's okay. Then apply it with numbers. What if N was 24? Then the first seat would have 24 people available, and the second seat would have 23. It doesn't matter to me if from here on out, if you see an N, if you apply it to a number and show me with your number, that's great. I'm good with it. Nobody ever said you had to stay with variables. I tear, what is that? So I know you understood it was going down each time. So like N minus 1 for the second, N minus 2 for the third, N minus 3 to the fourth. And it keeps on going down until you get to 1. Because let's face it, there's only that many people. And I is somewhere in here, we assume. We don't know. They didn't tell us what I was. But does it hurt my feelings if Grant decides I is 5?
Of course not.
And N is 24? So that means first chair is 24. Second chair is 23. Third chair is 22. Fourth chair is 21. Fifth chair is 20. And then he showed me how that worked. That's fine. That's sufficient for me. He showed me that he understood what it was saying. So he didn't use variables. So what? Oh, I forgot to say this. Whatever points you get today, since you didn't leave me any notes for yesterday, that's your points for yesterday as well. So if you get a 3, it's a 3 tomorrow as well. I mean yesterday as well. Tomorrow. Okay. 13 on is where JC left it blank. And to be honest, don't really blame him. So let's talk about what to do after that.
I said yes.
Number 13?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I wrote down.
You wrote down the table.
Wrote that in.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I love Grant, and Grant's group can have an extra point. So I gave you this table to try to help. I said, what if these are the people? And what if these were the chairs? Because let's face it, I'm not picking Mallory for my jury if she ain't got a seat. Can't. So if there are no chairs available, well, there are NP. I can't put any of the people there. Number of people not on jury. Sorry. So those 24 people standing outside can't come in because I don't have any chairs. Now, if I have one chair, then I've got one less person standing outside. If I've got 2 chairs, I got 2 less people standing outside. And I can keep on going in that manner. And then eventually down here at the end, forget it if you didn't have the middle, don't care. If I had N chairs, well, there are no people standing outside then. If I have N minus 1 chairs, and there's only 1 person standing outside. And if you didn't have that, I'm really not even mad. Yes, dear.
Is there anything but no?
Yes. 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 Flip. 2 problems left. 2 problems left. What? No, I just said flip like it's the next page. Okay. 14. Got 2 problems left and we're done. 14 is where I break your heart. There you go. Because, darn it, they came up with 2 variables. Our people, our juries, with the number of juries with our people, selected from a group of N people. Well, if I've got N people for the first seat, I've got N minus 1 for the last seat, N minus 2, something. I got that. And you're like, maybe you just put the R down there. Whatever. Don't care what you put. I'm going to tell you the legit answer now. I gotta take a deep breath for this one. Discrete is the most annoying class known to man. And here's why. Instead of just telling you, hey guys, there's a formula, why don't you use this formula every time you see this problem? We instead say, hey, why don't you discover this formula and then never remember how to use it again? It's the truth. Well, you can have a point. Thank you for having me. Except, in this case, I'm not going to let you forget it. That's why I'm not even going to make you take notes on it until after Thanksgiving, because I cannot turkey brain. Okay, but for those of us who are trying to be in the know now. So, last chapter, bless Forrest's heart, he thought last chapter was a pain in the rear. Guess what? Last chapter was the nicer counting chapter. We've now gotten to a harder counting chapter. And how do you know you're in harder counting? Anytime they're wanting you to choose. They're like, choose 3 from 8. Choose 20 out of the 30. Like, anytime you see the word choose and they want you to make a choice, it is not a nice problem. Okay, so the difference between permutation and combination is that a permutation is picky and the order matters. And that's what we actually did on 4.1. So if you look back at 4.1, the way you used to just multiply down, it actually works because there's a formula for that. Now 4.2 is where we are now, and there's a formula for it as well. Their formulas are super annoying because they're super freaking similar. 1, they both start off with n factorial in the numerator. We'll come back to what that means in a hot minute. 2, they both have another factorial in the denominator. Right this second, they look like twins. The only difference is this one has an extra piece in the denominator. And your math teacher, which will eventually be me, but not at this moment, your math teacher will eventually expect you to know which formula to use when. These look terribly annoying. Okay, but yes, dear. No. I know her snacks are making me hungry too. No, I don't. I wish. Okay, so does anyone know besides, well, I'll make this fast since Mallory's hungry. Okay, a factorial is when you multiply. So like 5 factorial literally means 5 times 4. I lost you 2. Go down a point. Oh, I lost. Ooh. 1 go up a point. Whew. Okay, so a factorial literally just means multiply down. You knew there was going to be a useful symbol for that at some point in your life, especially after the last chapter when you were having to do this the whole time anyway. Wouldn't it have been nice if I had just told you there was a symbol? Oh well.
Yes.
Okay, so literally all you need to know today, and we're going to go straight to 15. If we got 8 people available, and we need to select 3 of them, how many of them are we leaving out? I think it's 8 for real in their book. Really, for once in your life, you're right on it. I know, I thought so too, because you would think since they changed every other course into a 7-member jury, they'd change that one too, but they didn't, Claire, to annoy me. And they didn't buy me a new key either. Huh? On the syllabus.
On the ceiling.
At the new school? We'll do something.
Like,
We'll do
with,
something.
like tape, not like actually.
We'll do something. At the, yeah, not here.
Are we really gonna move in? Because I think folks are.
Yeah, that's lying.
Because
No.
we're gonna be parking in gravel.
Mallory.
Like, so when are y'all supposed to move in?
That's why your exams have been moved up a couple days. Hold on, I'll pull it. Let me finish my one problem and I'll show you. Okay, so literally,
Spill the tea.
No.
let me finish this problem and I'll stop talking. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we don't go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 because that would be dumb. Because you know anything times 0 is all 0. So we stop at 1. 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. 5 factorial is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So like Mallory was saying, she didn't even realize it. If there are 8 people and I'm choosing 3, then I got 5 people I'm not picking from. So that's what works. And then I can, look, those go out. Woo! And then guess what? 3 times 2 is 6. So I still get 56. And my life is a lot easier. 3 times 2 is 6. You can have an extra point for that, Forrest. Literally. So, Forrest, it was 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. You were good with that. Seriously, I know 3 times 2 is 6. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay, I see now.
Yes. So, long story short, we finished, and 4.2 was way too complicated than it had to be. It was literally to make 5 go down a point. Not 5, sorry, 5. 4 go down a point. Woo, got confused. You were 4.
Okay, I'm quiet.
You hadn't been keeping up any. That's your own
No,
fault.
we do have some points. We have 5 points.
Go down 1 and pray you get it back
I
soon.
take it back. I take it back.
Okay, pray you get it
Yeah,
back
5
soon.
points.
I wouldn't know. I didn't keep up with it.
Okay,
Call that.
4 points.
Thank you for not lying. Okay, so the long story short, we made this whole section way too complicated because guess what? There was a formula this whole time. Okay, so I know Thanksgiving's next week. Let me wrap on up. I'll show you the exam schedule and we'll talk about that in just a second.